What's up, guys? Today we are doing a Game Changers tier list. These tier lists are being built under the presumption we are playing bracket 3 or low bracket 4 or even high bracket 2. Somewhere in that ballpark. We're not playing CDH and we're not playing, to show off my baddies and daddies tribal. Coming soon. Subscribe and you can see it. So first things first, let's talk about what we think should be a game changer. Like, what is our criteria for how we're going to rank these? Personally, mine is the card should fundamentally change the way the game is played, or fundamentally
killed my mic. Sorry. Come on, buddy. Come on.
To me, at least, the game changer should fundamentally change the way the game is played from a turn-to-turn basis, or it should fundamentally change the way the color pie interacts. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add to that and how you guys are going to be weighing these.
I think a big part of it is too, it makes it very one-sided.
Yeah, or just general impact on the game. Like if it does completely sway so much so in someone's favor, or like you said, fundamentally changes how the game gets played moving forward.
So the tiers. Sweat Lord. If you're playing this, you're playing to win, you should just go fucking play EDH. Or CDH. Deserves a spot. These are cards that I don't think most people would have a problem with it being a game changer, especially going into the near future. Questionable. This gets into like stylistic preferences or like axioms on how you deck build. If you value I always point to me and TK's discrepancy on like the ability to draw cards versus the ability to make mana. It's preference of the deck builder. You're just salty. These cards, not really that strong. They're strong compared to all the other cards in Magic. They're strong, but you're personally just salty about them, and that's why they're game changers. And then shouldn't be here is obvious. These are cards that they're only here because someone got mad, which I guess is kind of a shittier version of you're just salty.
Yeah, but
they had to make it a game changer just to justify it.
Yeah. Or no, they're all kind of scrambled.
They're all kind of scrambled. It's fine.
Okay, so Worldly Tutor. What are we thinking?
I think it deserves a spot. I think all the one mana tutors and demonic tutor, those things that are super efficient that are very open ended, like any creature, any instant or sorcery, any artifact, or any card in general, all kind of deserve a spot because it does just drastically increase the consistency for so cheap that, maybe they're questionable, but I think for now they deserve a spot just because they do want to, make the singleton format have some level of restriction.
Yeah, and it's like, I know this is kind of a big point that Rachel Weeks made that's kind of getting parroted, but parroted makes it seem derogatory. But singleton is kind of dying in some cards. I still think there's fun variety to be had within the card choices, but a lot of times, like she used the landfall example, it doesn't really matter, like having a tutor. Most of the time I feel like these are kind of leaning up towards Sweat Lord, but not really Sweat Lord, because a lot of the times you're using these cards to go find things that are going to win you the game or get the way out of it. I think I find myself more on the line of like what like 3/3 Elk or any of the other deck building creators say, where it's like, if you're casting the tutor just to find one card every time, then the deck kind of needs some more refinement. I think they're good Swiss Army knives, though, to have.
That's exactly what I was going to say with Swiss Army knife. It can just be whatever you need at any point, so it just gives you the viability to do so.
So what do you what are you feeling for it?
I think it deserves
a
spot.
I'll keep it on deserves a spot.
I think we can go ahead and toss up, as we encounter them, the Mystical Tutor, Enlightened Tutor, Vampiric, and Demonic.
Yeah. Maybe there's a little bit of
variance, yeah.
We'll
get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. Next is the One Ring. I think this card is a powerhouse. I think this fundamentally warps the color pie in letting all colors get insane levels of draw. It hurts you, but does a Orzhov deck give a shit about hurting?
Well, I don't think any EDH deck in general. Like you started, this card was so ubiquitous in competitive formats when you have half the life of Commander, and the fact that it's here and you have double the life pool. This is absolutely a Sweat Lord card to me. Like
it's protection from everything, and there's too many ways, even in any color, just to bring it back, flicker it, bring it from graveyard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, I think it's a good.
I do think it's a cool the way people use it to like get around paying the burden counters. I love evading taxes. I'm putting this in Sweatlord.
Sweatlord for sure.
Tabernacle.
This is a weird one.
Yeah. I think it's cool to have in like some strategies. Like I've built Voltron decks where I've thrown it in there on the list, but I've always cut it because it feels like it doesn't feel good to play. I don't think this card will ever get reprinted, or it should ever be reprinted.
It's reserve list. They can't.
Yeah. Personally, I would say this is a like somewhere like between You're Just Salty and Sweatlord, but like it's not a deserves a spot or questionable. If they banned it as well, I wouldn't care one way or another.
Yeah, to me, I think this is a deserves a spot because it does fundamentally change how the game is played.
That's true.
Yeah, because if you're a token deck,
they're all dying. You're not paying for them all. Like
yeah.
It's like Kataki, but worse, except it's a land. And I think the only reason it's not like Sweatlord is that it doesn't tap for mana. So like Maze of Ith, you're sacrificing a land drop to basically be just this super taxing effect. It's obviously a stacks effect, but to me, this is I don't think it's super sweaty because not every deck can play this either. So I think it just belongs there because of what it does to the game.
Yeah.
Above Worldly Tutor, we can all agree on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Its impact level on a game is very high.
Okay. Next is Underworld Breach.
Sweat.
This is a Sweatlord.
Sweat. There's no contest.
You're not playing this game unless you plan. You're playing that card unless you plan on winning right now.
If you're playing this card and you're just like, I'm going to get some stuff back, like
you're lying.
You're lying to everybody. Just show me the brain freeze.
You're lying to yourself. Yeah.
There's no fair Underworld Breach.
And it's not even like just the brain freeze. I won a game once where I was the Timmy that was like, oh, I'm going to play Underworld Breach because I need to be able to get my instants and sorceries back. This lets me get my instants and sorceries back. And I won despite having a board where I would have to do the math. I'd be like, oh, well, I could just Windfall and just keep casting my Windfall over and over and over again to mill everybody. It's a Sweatlord card. I think it's above One Ring.
No. I don't. I'm going to be honest. There are very few things that go above One Ring.
Okay.
That card is so egregious in terms of its advantage.
It doesn't warp the game. It just gives you the agency to win right now.
Yeah. I think it does warp in deck building at higher powers, but again, we're talking bracket 3.
Sure.
Bracket 3 and adjacent bookends.
3 to low 4.
Yeah. Vamp Tutor. I think this goes deserves a spot. It goes above Worldly Tutor.
Above Worldly Tutor. It's because it's ubiquitous. It's very, very good.
Yeah, and there's ways to top deck manipulator, make someone shuffle. So
I mean, in CDH for a while, they were playing, I think the card's called like Rites of Preparation. It's like a 2-mana instant that bounces something, and then that player mills 2. And everyone was just playing it to disrupt all these tutors, which is really, really funny. I can't remember the exact card. I apologize if I got that wrong.
That's probably a future video on like how to use tutors, but next up, we got Thoracle.
Sweat.
This is a sweat card, but I would also understand using it as if you weren't 2-card comboing it. Like there was the other game where you drew all those cards.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to be pissed if you played Thoracle and won because you didn't, like you had like a devotion like over like 15 or whatever, and you only had 14 cards in your library. But I think you're only playing this if you're playing Sweatlord decks.
Yeah.
To win right now.
This is one of those cards that when it came out, I hate instant win cards. To me, I think this card should just be banned. Because they can't deal enough with the other things like Tainted Pact and Demonic Consultation. Because there's enough of those effects that this is such a miserable way, and it's so predominant in CDH that I think getting rid of it completely would be very beneficial to CDH. So that's tempting me to just throw it in Sweatlord. Like I would not put it above the other 2 cards there because those are a lot more ubiquitous. But this card's it's not fun. The deck building around it is so ubiquitous in terms of how easy it is as a win condition that I think it has to belong in Sweatlord, even though like in a vacuum by itself, it's not even a powerful card.
No, that's true. But that's the thing. It's one of those, like, I'm trying to win right now.
Yeah. And if you're putting this in like a bracket 3 deck, it's like, well, what are you doing? Like, this is a fun like exposition of deck building tech. It's not fucking throw out the Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah, because I feel like if you're playing anything below 5 and it's in your starting hand, it's a dead drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is one of those weird things where it's like it's such a problem in bracket 5, and pretty much nowhere else it's an issue. Like it's such a weird thing that a card like this exists. So it's like either it's Sweatlord or it shouldn't be here.
Yeah,
like,
it's what's it called? It's also kind of self-limiting to like bracket 4 because usually if you're playing this, you're playing 2-card combo.
Yeah, for sure.
I do have it in a bracket 4 deck that I have, but that's just like if I get all of these other pieces in place. Mm-hmm. I'm going to pick up my deck and I'm just going to play it. Like that's the way that I have it in that deck. I don't go tutor for it or anything.
But you would.
I kind of think like there's so many times. There's another one where it's like it could be in a bunch of different categories. Like I don't think it should be here. Not like in the it's weak. I think it's like it shouldn't even be in a bracket 3 deck.
Yeah, so I think the best way we can go about this is because of how stratifying it is across different brackets. It's just questionable.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, yeah, it's the centerpiece of CDH metas. But, like, outside of that, I haven't seen anyone play a fair Oracle because it's so hard to actually make work at a certain point. So maybe we just new tier.
Yeah. Why are you playing this in bracket 3?
I think this belongs there.
I feel like we should move Underworld Breach down.
Why are you playing this in bracket 3? Because like, if we're saying that you can't do like infinites or easy infinites or 2-card infinites, then like Underworld Breach is, I guess. Well, I mean, it is Yawgmoth's Will at the end of the day. Like, it's still good, but it's not. You're not doing the craziest stuff in the world. But I think the craziest Underworld Breach I've had is with 1,000-Year Stormout.
Yeah,
which is just cool. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I also think of like Underworld Breach as a Sweatlord because of how much it fucks the colored pie. Red should not get recursion like that. I got a hot take on this one, so I'm gonna let you guys talk. Tergrid.
Oh, Tergrid?
Deserves a spot. I think it deserves a spot.
You're just salty.
I think you're just salty.
I think you're just salty. I think this card is fine. I think the only reason it's here is because people hate sacrificing stuff, they hate stuff getting stolen, and they hate discarding cards.
Yeah, I just think it because, as we were saying, it warps the game in such a sense as I play Tergrid board wipe or mass sack, and I just take everyone's board. It's reverse Cyclonic. You just take everything.
Isn't it whenever they sacrifice a permanent
or discard?
Right, or discard.
So you
but a board wipe, if you just destroy all creatures, you don't.
That's
anything,
true,
right? Like the biggest thing is with wheels, it's obnoxious, but like Tergrid plus Wheel of Fortune is kind of just a combo, right? Mm-hmm. Not game defining, but
it can depending on what it is.
But then that's on you for playing those cards.
That's true, but it's also depending on what the synergy of your deck, and that's why I say it deserves a spot because I think that at the end of the day, it can warp a game in such a way that it's just you can't recover from.
Yeah. To me, it doesn't warp a game much more. Like, I think Notion Thief warps a game more.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right, by comparison, or like even a Narset plus a wheel is arguably more devastating than Tergrid in some cases. I think, this card's ceiling is crazy, but like the floor is not great.
I agree. I agree. I just think that if you're playing this card in the first place, you're doing shenanigans.
Oh yeah, you're doing.
And that's the whole point. And it's also what depends on like what are you doing in that color, you know? Like,
what affront to God are you making?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think that's why I say deserves a spot. And not because it's the sweatiest thing or the strongest thing ever. It's just that it can make it very one-sided very easily.
Then I would say maybe it's questionable.
Because
I can see it going either way. I think personally I was surprised when they put it on there because I'm like, it's not that bad. Like I faced plenty of Tergrid. It's like, yeah, it's annoying when it happens, but, you know, if we're talking about the situations where we have board wipes, we have board wipes. It's not...
The way I see it is I've built decks where it synergizes really well as, like, get more out of stuff you're already doing, but at the end of the day, it's a get more out of stuff you're already doing in those decks in the 99. Like, I rarely ever find myself going for it or playing it when I have it in my 99, and if I'm playing it, I'm probably winning anyways. And then as a commander, it's like...
That's the sweatiest.
Yeah, that's the sweatiest thing, but also it's like this thing is such a lightning rod with no ward, no anything to protect it. You're playing mono black, so you're playing it and you're like, "Oh, I got boots out first."
Yeah.
And like you know that shit's getting killed the moment that the other 3 players are like, "All right, you do this and then I do this and then I'm going to do this and then the thing is getting nuked from orbit." Like I don't think it's
Are there instant wheels?
Not in black or mono black.
Okay.
You can make them instant speed in like Grixis.
But like in a Dimir, right? Like if you're running a Dimir deck.
I actually don't think so.
Okay.
That's
Not
what
by
we need.
not by
Dimir
default.
Turgrid.
I was going to say I would rather face a Tergrid than face like a Braids or a Marlin combo deck. Like,
Or like a Kefka, even. Like the flip on Kefka.
Kefka's
Expensive.
fine to me. Kefka's fine to me.
Yeah, but in Kefka, you get to play red, so you can ritual ramp into it.
That's true.
You can get out ahead of, like in a Tergrid,
Jeska's.
your hope in Tergrid is fucking Soul Ring and then turn 2 have Dark Grit, you know?
That's true. I think to flip Kefka, you need Grixis colors, right? It's
It's 2 into Grixis.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I want to let you guys talk on this one first. This is my trigger card, Rhystic Study. I'm saying this as a Storm player. This isn't a why are you playing this in bracket 3? It's a good. I'm already started. This is a good card. It is so good. If you had the ability to get infinite copies of it, there is not a reason why it should not be in decks, and I think that makes deck building in blue specifically a little less fun. I know blue is the card draw color. No one's going to pay, like, people are going to pay the one sometimes, but even in the cases where you're playing with a responsible pod, there are times where you're going to get the card draw. My biggest reason as to why this is top of Sweatlord for me is because I love playing Storm, and this crowds out Storm completely. I'm putting my bias on the table. Even in bracket 3, if you're playing Storm, if someone has this, they're playing blue, they can draw into counter spells, and it really depends on whether or not they greed out all their mana.
Yeah, to me, this deserves a spot. Because we've talked about this multiple times. I think the philosophy of when a Rhystic Study comes down, everyone just says their spells cost 1 more. Because that's the best.
Truth of it.
That's the best way to beat a Rhystic Study. At that point, it becomes a dead card, right? So, like, I think it's up there and deserves a spot, mostly because of the fact it does change how the game is played. At worst, it's a stack piece, and at best, it becomes this weird political piece. Or basically this play on everyone's greed, because the minute someone stops paying the 1, other people are going to be more inclined to not pay the 1, or it's like, oh, I think I can outvalue the Rhystic Study player, and they just don't care. You can't. Unless you are wheeling them, you can't. So I think it just deserves a spot. I don't think it's like the ultimate of sweat. Like, I think the One Ring is a much more egregious card than Rhystic Study.
Yes.
But I would put it at the top of the deserves a spot.
Can we put it at the bottom of Sweatlord as a compromise?
I almost want to say questionable. And the reason why is because the strength of a Rhystic Study is the timing. If you get it turn 2, no one's going to shoot. No one's going to waste removal that early. They're still setting up, and that's when you're going to get the most value out of it. But if you're dropping it turn 6, people have answers. It might not
be as bad. Whereas the One Ring is good all the time.
And they'll get a card.
I still think I think it's pretty good game around. Like even in like dropping it like turn 4 or 5, like you basically, I think there's like you taking 2 turns off from the end of the game if that person gets to keep it around for.
But it's also chance. It's what you do draw, and it's a 100 card deck. You know what I mean? So I think the reason why I want to say it's questionable is because, one, it's the most iconic card in Magic, I feel like, and second,
it's up there.
It's the timing of when you play, because like if you play turn 2 because you get a Soul Ring, a Signet, something.
Yeah,
you're gonna. No one's gonna stop it that early. They are still building and setting up. So it's like it's like a turn 1 Esper.
Mm.
It's like at that point, it's like kind of Remora adjacent.
Yeah, I think the only reason Remora is not on the Game Changers list to match it is because it has cumulative upkeep. Yeah. I think that's the only thing that distinguishes them, because Remora is. In terms of what it can do, is more egregious because nobody's paying 4.
No one can pay 4 when it's its best. When you play it turn 1, turn 2, motherfuckers are still getting their rocks off.
But most people are the proper thing against the fish is just to wait until the person who has the fish stops paying.
Exactly,
for it,
and that's gonna say it's they're either gonna force to keep it around by wasting a turn by spending 5 mana because they just want 2 more cards. And I get it. There's times you want a fish for 2 more extra cards, because you need that counterspell, you need that removal piece. So if it's worth it, I get it. But Rhystic, I think it's purely on the timing of when it's dropped.
Yeah, I could see it arguably being towards the bottom end of Sweatlord, just because I think it does become.
That's fine.
it does fundamentally warp a game pretty badly, but I think that's just because of how people are so used to interacting with it at this point.
Yeah.
Particularly in bracket 3. Like,
That's fair.
when we talk about this card in bracket 5, yeah, a lot of decks just try to turbo to a Rhystic Study because it becomes more taxing for your opponents to interact with you, less the advantage.
True.
If they're abiding by it correctly.
We'll talk about it when we get the personal growth that I've gone through when we get to Necro, but I agree. I think the fact that it crowds out a whole archetype is game changing. And the pay the one, everybody in these conversations talks like they're the most pious Boy Scout ever that pays the one every time. I'll play it against you, and I'm going to catch you slipping. And you will see it. You go check all of our videos in the past, our backlog. Whenever I play this card, I'm always begrudgingly playing it because it's like, why not play it?
The other thing, though, is I would say going off what you said is it crowds out a whole archetype, but so does Dothy.
We'll get to stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll do a list of things that should be game changers. I
That's
think,
another
at some
video.
point.
That's another video.
And we can talk about stuff like that. But
But in lower brackets, yes, I will say it's sweaty.
yeah.
But I agree. It should probably be the lower end.
Survival of the Fittest. This is a Devon card.
I have played this card many a times.
I think this is top of Sweatlord.
This is
I hate Devon.
this is very no.
No, I'm kidding.
This is underneath the One Ring, above Rhystic Study. There is no fair thing you can do with Survival of the Fittest.
No.
I played this back in the day when I literally have told myself I'm not allowed to play this card anymore because it warps a game so badly to be able to just like any graveyard strat. I'm going to toss all the important creatures in my graveyard. Like I still remember I used to play Reveler combos all the time.
Oh yeah.
You're just like, okay, pay 1 green, go find Karmic Guide, pay 1 green, put Karmic Guide in the graveyard, go find a Mirror Entity, put Mirror Entity in the graveyard. Okay, find Revelark. Okay, my turn. Reveler combo. Game's over. Yeah. Like it's just, it sets up way too much for so cheap that it has to be in Sweatlord to me. Yeah. Like it does not belong anywhere else.
No, I agree.
It's like a much more disgusting tooth and nail IMO because of how cheap it is, and it's like you get to pick up like whatever you want. Like imagine this: it's like you have it out. You're like, all right, I'm gonna go drop a fucking any of the Eldrazi Titans or Blightsteel or any of those big old game enders.
They shuffle in, but
true.
You can find like
you know what I mean,
like Nyx Bloom Ancient into Reanimate.
Yeah, Nyx Bloom Ancient
like
into any of the cards that bring like shit back if you're playing Golgari. Like I had this in Mayrin for a while, and Abe was like, "You got to take that out," and I was like, I was underselling it at the time, but then I thought about it when I was playing Mayrin. I was like, good thing I kept it out.
I wanted to put it in Aerith, and I restrained myself and went with Birthing Pod instead because it would have been any card I want to bring back this turn. Oops.
Yeah. I love Pod. Pod's like one of my favorite cards.
I love Birthing Pod.
I love Pod. The hard part with Pod though is, this is kind of an aside, is like I hate being like, let me pull out my phone and like figure out what fucking mana value 5 cards I have.
Yeah.
I guess I would already play fetch lands. So I'm down to put it above Rhystic Study.
Yeah.
I think it's disgusting.
Oh yeah. Between those two,
You're playing this, you're sweaty as hell.
I personally would put Rhystic Study above it, but I would understand other people's. I'm once again my bias. I'm trying to be on the face with it. Seedborn Muse
shouldn't be here.
I don't think it should be here either.
Shouldn't be here.
You don't think so?
No, so there are many a times where even back in the day before this was a game changer, I would look at how I built my deck and be like, Seedborn Muse. No, doesn't make the cut. Because if you can't abuse the untapping effect of Seedborn Muse, it's not that great. It lets you hold up more responses. Like if you're green-blue, sure. You get to be greedy on your turn and then you get access to your counter magic. But this is not Prophet of Crufix. It doesn't give your stuff flash. Like, unless you are really utilizing it well, it just becomes a power card for that particular archetype. Putting it in your deck in general, if you're not utilizing it, it does nothing, man.
I think it's just you're just salty, and the reason why is because there's no gap between Seedborn Muse and Prophet of Crufix.
There's a huge gap.
Well, one just gives flash. They both do the same thing. One just gives things flash.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
I know, but there's no card in between those. So one's banned and one's a
game changer when it doesn't belong.
That's what I'm saying. So I think it's a You're Just Salty card because you're right. If someone's playing Kumena, where the whole point is tap, untap every turn to buff and do things, like, yeah, it makes sense. But outside of that, as you're saying, it's just a feel-good card. It's
hyper-dependent on your board.
Yeah.
I'm down to put this in... I'll give my piece, but I'm down to put this at the bottom of You're Just Salty. I think it should... I think it's a... It shouldn't be here because most of the time... Again, like Devin said, if you're playing green-blue, it's like, okay, you get to keep your responses up. This card is so, like, with a lot of the mana cards, at least from my personal experience, you're so heavily dependent on how good is your card draw, how many cards do you actually have in hand that you can make use of that mana. If you're just untapping your mana and then being like, okay, cool, you go, okay, it's my turn again, oh, my mana's already untapped. Like, this card it's expensive, it's easy to target with removal, I also think it's a lightning rod card. I don't even think it should be a lightning rod card that much either. Like,
it depends.
It depends on the deck, but like
But if you're running it, you don't plan on ever being fair with it. In the first place.
Yeah, but like there are actually scarier cards in decks that would abuse this than this. Like, I think that the most value I've ever gotten about it recently is I had a bunch of utility lands I could activate, like the new. What was it? Monumental Hedge and stuff like that, right? Like, I can utilize these on every turn, which is cool, right? It was a godsend in my Captain Sisay deck, the OG one. Yes. You tutor every turn, but like,
I do like it in my my Kenrith Group Hug deck because it's like, yes, I shall give you haste. Yes, go ahead and draw a card. Like, it's fun because it's like, in that case, it's like, it's not lightning rodded because people are like, oh, he's giving shit out to other people. That's cool. Until someone's like, hey, like, we shouldn't let the group hug player like have his game plan.
Yeah, it's a cool card. I think You're Just Salty is a good place. Yeah. Somebody's just tired of all that.
Salty. That's what I'm saying. Until they could find a card that's not banned and barely shouldn't be, I think it's just salty.
I mean, hot take. I think Prophet Crucifix should be a game changer, but we'll get to that.
That's a whole different story.
That's a whole different video.
Because you could do too much at that point.
I've come around recently on this next one. Your stance on it. Smothering Tithe, especially after we filmed this after the second game. Smothering Tithe,
it's questionable.
I was both proven right and also wrong in the same game because you went crazy and then you lost it and like you had so few cards in hand that I was like, okay, well,
it's too expensive. If it was 3 mana, 100% deserves a spot. But because it's 4, it basically just gives you 3 extra mana if things are fair. You know what I mean? Which is nice, and it's treasure, so it hangs around. But I think. Know.
Okay, so
it's just it depends on the colors because one, it's white. So if you're running or anything that's not green or anything that just constant card draw, it's a good card.
Harkening back to like a minute and a half ago when I said all these cards that give you big mana only really matter if you have card draw to back it up.
Or a pump.
Or like a pump or an activated ability. That being said, I do think it's kind of disgusting that I can't even get to fucking play cards before you're like, do you pay 2? Like, it's some crackhead methodology here, bro. I'm down with putting this around Tabernacle. I don't know if it's above or below.
Yeah, I think it deserves a spot almost 100% to me because in the same way that Rhystic Study changes how a game is played, this card changes how the game is played.
Yeah.
And to me, its cost is so high.
Yeah.
No one ever pays the 2 unless they aren't doing anything else. Like if this card costed 3 and you could pay 1 to deny the treasure, I think it would arguably be less impactful than the way it is now.
Yeah. Because no one's paying 2.
Yeah, because no one's paying 2. And I have seen, to your point, you do need cards to like go with this to really make the benefit. But I have seen people utilize this with just like wheel decks. And it is arguably the most disgusting thing I have ever seen. So, like, I think...
4-color Nekuzar. When are we getting it?
The floor of this card is that I stockpile a bunch of mana that I can use whenever I want. And the ceiling is that it can win you a game.
Yeah.
So, I think it just deserves a spot.
Above or below Tabernacle?
Honestly, I'd put it below the Tutors.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very powerful card. It's very impactful. But it's still not finding the best card in your deck.
I'm saying it goes above the Tutors. I think
Tutors is I need this right now to answer something. Well, this just does one thing.
I'm saying I would spend a tutor to have this card.
That's fair. Actually, that's fair. If you would spend a tutor to have this card, that card is more impactful.
Because I think one of the biggest strengths too is Smothering Tithe, outside of just having a shit, it's color fixing. So if you need cards that are, hey, I got 4 green pips I gotta play. There's your treasure. There it is, right there,
bro. If that's how you've built your deck, that's. I'm
not saying that's how it is, but I'm saying if you're actually trying to win out and you need 4 of this color and 2 of this or 3 of that, it can
the
grab the
flexibility
difference.
Helps.
Yeah,
and treasure synergy too is off the walls now. So like
a Negan, this card was a menace.
Notion Thief. I personally like this card. So, I think the Notion Thief kind of looks like old Drake when he had the afro. That's besides the point, though. I like this. I like this card. I always take it out because I'm like, my friends aren't going to like playing against this. But
that's why
I always want to play it.
That's the sweat part. That's why it's a sweat.
I think this absolutely. I think it deserves a spot. I don't think it's a sweat lord card.
Above or below tutors?
Above, because this is a card I have searched for, and I fully admitting because Notion Thief as a win condition, I think is a great win condition, but it is very powerful. And the biggest thing and the reason I think that this deserves to be here is the reactive nature of it.
Yes.
Because you can play off of what other people are doing.
Exactly.
Instead of Narset, where it's usually all on your turn, which is why she's not a game changer.
She's on here.
Narset part or Vale's
yeah.
Game changer? Oh, we have words about that one. Anyway. I think the ability to strip hands, while is not sacred, where a lot of people think it is, I think because it can be so disruptive to when your opponent plays a windfall and you're like, oops.
That's
I think where it's the feels bad and it deserves a spot to be limited within bracket 3. Because then this becomes your whole strategy if you're doing that. And that's okay if it's your whole strategy.
Yeah. I don't like how similar you and me think. Because it's I also go on tirades all the time. If we're playing Magic, I'm 2 or 3 beers in. I want to give you the nobody gives a shit if you target the shit while it's on the field, but if it's in their hand, God forbid you even think about touching it, or on their deck, or their lands. There's some things that it's I build decks where I'm I am targeting on purpose things that commander players hold sacred, because it's you're too much of a pussy to fucking stop me from, okay, blow up this land. But you won't, because you think land destruction is too sacred. And so it's I kind of play into those biases sometimes when I'm building for a broader audience.
People who get mad at Mill just blow my mind.
Build better decks.
It just doesn't matter.
I used to be one of the Mill haters. Now I anytime I have any sort of graveyard deck, I'm Mesmere Corp.
No, it's so funny, dude. I used to have people who tried to play Mill against me. And they quickly learned not to, as the many videos have seen where I just grab stuff from my graveyard all the time because it's how I build my decks. I'm do it, please. You're helping me.
Yeah. Just the Jack Nicholson nod.
But it's definitely disruptive. Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
because you're never going to do it for 1 or 2. Yeah. You're never going to do it for less than 3 cards. You're going to do it I'm wheeling. All right, great. Then I get 2 hands now.
I guess this is kind of a thing I should have said earlier, but to me, another thing about Game Changers is I'm basing it off of the soul card, or if I have to go outside of it to another card, it has to be a cheap or easy to get through card. So I guess Windfall and stuff like that is pretty easy to get to with Notion Thief, but even then it's you're paying 7 mana to deny hand. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
If it was 10 mana or 9 mana, if you're getting Jinja Taxis levels,
the big difference being though is that you can do this to your opponent. This can be 4 mana to deny your opponent's cards. Now
the flexibility does increase it for me. Now, I think it's definitely above or below Smothering Tithe.
Yeah, I put it above Smothering Tithe. Its impact on a game is pretty crazy.
It changes it too much.
But I don't consider this a sweat card because you are building around this, right? It's this becomes a part of your central strategy if you're playing it.
Yeah, because it's basically a discard tribal at that point. Because the Nekuzar player, hey, I'm going to wheel, and then all right, we all wheel. And,
I took it out of Nekuzar,
but then Notion Thief, you have no hand now.
Yeah,
I took it out of Nekuzar for that reason. It's I want you guys to draw the cards. I don't have a way to win without it.
That's true.
Bowmasters. I like this card a lot. I really, really do. I really, really do. This is a personal favorite game changer of mine. I know I gave Rhystic Study some shit for being why would you not include it, but I like the card. What can I say?
I think deserves a spot because I think the best part is that it just makes a body.
Yeah, I'm not putting it above the tutors though.
No.
I think this shouldn't be here.
Really?
Yeah,
Let's go.
I think Orcish Bowmasters being on that list is punishing to wanting to punish card draw. And I think when we're talking about a bracket 3 deck that gets to go off the rails, people shouldn't be able to just draw their decks for free. You want to know the best way to beat a Rhystic Study? Play an Orcish Bowmasters.
Yeah.
Okay, I was kind of tempering it because I was afraid I would get cooked in the comments. I don't think this is necessarily that bad either.
It's not. I think if it's not and shouldn't be here, it is and you're just salty.
Well, that's why I'm saying the biggest strength of the card is making a body. It's not the damage.
Yeah, but like a token body is...
But it grows. It's not multiple. It's not 1/1s. It's just...
It has no keywords. You can chunk the hell out of it. Like, and you have to think... I mean, and maybe this is just because I am in the perspective of I play a bunch of things at Ping. I play things like Ren and 6 where like I don't give a crap about this card because it's very easy for me to kill. And it does punish card draw, which is not done enough.
That's true.
Right?
I going back to what I said about Notion Thief, this is a card that punishes people's greed or like interacting with a fundamental part of the game, something you have to do. I love those types of cards. I personally am fine with it shouldn't be here, or you're like at the very bottom and you're just salty.
I even want to say it's why are you running in a bracket 3?
No, okay.
It's fun.
Because
That's
like
why.
if take my Ashling deck, if Ashling had
That's
black,
true.
where I'm drawing a bunch of cards and I use Niv Mizzet to win, this just adds to it because if I'm wheeling people, it gets the ping. But like this, to the point of like where Notion Thief shuts it down. This doesn't shut you down from drawing. It just makes it cost something.
Yeah.
And you're not always getting punched for the 1 damage each time.
Yeah.
You could be like, oh shit, like he's got like a million fucking elves over there that are all tapping for mana.
Yeah, it's true. It's just the things
It's
where
fun to politic
what it
too.
also allows, like say if you draw 20 cards, all right, I make a 20/20 body, Chandra's Ignition.
Well, no, you don't get it when you draw. It's when they draw.
No,
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
if they do it, they just fuel your body, and then you're like, oh, I'm Rakdos, here's Chandra's.
Congrats. You played into the hand.
Yeah.
Like it maybe I'll put it on just salty because like I know people don't like this effect, and because it's variable on its targeting, that can get a little out of hand. Like giving this thing Death Touch is kind of wild.
Yeah.
But I mean, so is giving Death Touch to like any like Goblin Sharpshooter, one of my favorite cards of all time. Like
I would say it's above
I'm not
Seedborn.
okay. If you're watching the video or you're skipping ahead, well, if you're skipping ahead, you're not going to see this. I'm not saying that I think Orcish Bowmaster is a weaker card than Seedborn Muse. I'm saying that it doesn't deserve to be on. There's cards that are really strong that do deserve to be on here that aren't, that are probably above or below the Seedborn. Personally, I think the Orcish Bowmaster is fine. It also gets targeted pretty easily.
yeah, I think it's less deserving to be on the list than Seedborn because like I've played Modern in the past, and I played Modern when this card was very good, but it was always like we had answers. It wasn't something that just completely wrecked the game. In fact, it was one of the greatest equalizers of Legacy of all time. It's like, oh, I cast Brainstorm, Bowmasters, right? Like now you had to think about what it was you were going to do, and I think cards that make you think and have to try and plan around and then punish you for doing things that like you're trying to do greedily, perfectly acceptable in a game.
I think this card's funny though because like you specifically, Matt, of like players I see, like you get sub 10 health, you are fishing for cards. So it's like, hey, while you do that, just die.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. I remember I had back when this wasn't a game changer and I was playing closer to bracket 4 or just including stuff. When I cast a Windfall with this out, and I used it to all Zerg one player that I want to take out the game. Like I didn't hit the other people.
Yeah.
No, we all draw a bunch of cards. You're gonna die,
That's
right?
true. But I think that's why it's probably lower too, is because if you're the one that is trying to fish, like I need answers, I'm sub 10 health, I need to find a way to get back in this. Then they're just like, oh, by the way, just die.
Yeah.
This next one is, I think it's pretty easy. I think we should do an easy bing, bang, boom, done onto the next one. Oppo Agent, I mean, I'm metagaming against you if I'm putting this in a deck.
Salty.
But you're just salty.
Why are you playing this in bracket?
Oh, yeah.
Why? It's like, I don't think it's...
No, I think that makes
That's
more
fair.
sense.
That's
that
fair.
makes a lot more sense.
I think it is definitely weaker than the other two cards of why are you playing this in bracket 3.
The power level of this card was so high because of all the tutors that were consistently happening.
Yeah.
So like its impact gets so much higher in higher brackets, but in lower brackets where people aren't tutoring as much.
You have 12 total game changers. Is everybody running a tutor? And I guess they're also running fetches. But
if I fetch and you deny me my land, that sucks. I got strip mined. But like now I'm just never going to search my library, right? And that also, as we like to say, is punishing a greedy mana base.
Yeah,
that's true.
Also something that's okay to do.
Necropotence. This is where I'm ready to go to war about One Ring placement. I think Necropotence. This card is never being played in a fair manner.
This card is sweat and beyond sweat.
There's a special ruling with Necropotence where the Necropotence trigger on the end step creates it's a delayed trigger. A delayed trigger priority that you can then respond to. So in like CDH, it's really good because you can play Flash Enablers and then play on top of that trigger while holding priority, and you get to see all the cards in the hand that you get from Necropotence before you go to cleanup. So,
yeah, because it does create another thing after you've gotten all the cards to be able to play something.
Yes.
It's so egregious.
You could be like, this is my last turn, and then just drop down to 5-10 life and pick up 20 cards. Like, it's essentially a fucking 3 mana Peer into the Abyss.
Yeah, my issue with this card actually even being legal is the fact that Yawgmoth's Bargain and Grizzlebrand are banned and this one isn't.
Yeah.
When this one is only slightly below those because of the discard effect, but at the same time, when this card gets played, it usually will end a game in any high power or in lower power. They're never going to be below 7 cards.
Yeah.
Like they could literally dump their hand every turn and be fine. And the life loss, as we know, doesn't really matter when we're doing stuff like this. Yeah. So like, If the Yawgmoth's Bargain and Grizzlebrand are banned, which they should be, in my opinion, I think Necropotence belongs right next to them.
I agree, because I was going to say, if this is anywhere below Sweat, bring back Grizzlebrand then.
Yeah.
No.
That's different. Only in the command zone.
I would rather see Bargain come back than Grizzlebrand.
I think Grizzlebrand would be fine only if he was in the command zone.
What if it was have you seen that short?
It's better than in the 99. I'll tell you that. Entomb, Reanimate.
No, because Grizzlebrand in 3-color decks is not okay either.
That's true.
Like, when Grizzlebrand starts getting more colors, there's already Razaketh build-arounds.
Oh,
if we give those decks a Grizzlebrand build-around, it's way... Like, Grizzlebrand plus Shieldred is the dumbest thing in the world, right? True. So, like, now we're just letting that happen everywhere.
Yeah.
Grizzlebrand stays banned.
Yeah.
Like, I think Necropotence stays banned. Or should be banned.
I always say... If Necropotence is 3-color pips, I think Rhystic Study should also be 3-color pips. But also, it's because I'm a Rhystic Study hater. I will still play it, though. It's a good card.
Yeah, I think it just interrupts your train of thought, and that's why you hate Rhystic Study so much. Because you'll be doing something.
Necropotence is a faster one ring.
Oh, by the way, do you pay the one? Oh, by the way, do you pay the one?
Necropotence is a faster one ring in terms of advantage.
It's above one ring for sure. Above one ring for sure.
Okay, wait, what is this one?
Natural Order.
Natural Order? What does it do?
You can sack. It's 4 mana. Sack a green creature as an additional cost. Search your deck for any green creature put into play.
4 mana.
So it's like a Beseech the Mirror.
Yeah, but it has no mana cost restriction.
Yeah.
Okay.
This card is very scary. I mean, Legacy Elves has played it for forever to go find their Crater Hoof. I think this card is very rarely ever played fairly. I think it's always going to get this. It gets the scariest creature.
How much mana is it?
4 mana.
4 mana?
Yeah.
And it's sack
a green creature. So you can sack a token.
So it's effectively 4.5 mana. Go find Crater Hoof in most Timmy decks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
it deserves a spot.
I think it's a high deserves spot.
Yeah.
I think it's a high deserved spot. I think it might be under. It's definitely over the tutors because I would go look for this.
I want to say it's above Notion Thief.
I think it's probably the highest we have in there right now. I would put it above Tabernacle because it is a game changer in the fact that most of the time when this is played, it's going to end a game.
Yeah.
But my thing is, you have to kind of like. I'm thinking from a Timmy deck perspective, where you're going to find, like in a green deck, like a green Stompy, you're going to find Crater Hoof, or you're going to go find Nyx Bloom Ancient or some crazy card, and it's like that card needs other setup around it. Whereas like these other cards are kind of like they stand on their own and they warp the game.
So I think this card stands alone because you can grab things like Vorinclex.
Also Golta.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, like and it's not limited to the mono green creature, it's any creature that has green in it. So like you can grab things like, I know it's actually low impact, I think, in each, but like Progenitus, right?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Right. So any like 5-color thing you can grab. I'm trying to think of the most, like you can pull like a Galta out of your deck, or what's his face, Zakama.
Yeah,
right? And stuff like that.
But Zakama's strength is being cast, not
sure.
played. But that's why I say Galta, because then you just dump. It's like, oh, I have everything I need in my hand.
But like, could you imagine a green player playing this on turn 3 and grabbing a Vorinclex?
Yeah.
Like that completely warps the game.
Yeah, that does warp the game. Chat, if you're looking for something fun to do, get Galta, Primal Stampede, play it, get the trigger on the stack, and then sack it to some sort of card draw to fill your hand before you let it resolve. It's fun. I did it, and someone asked me, like, I thought we were playing bracket 3, and I was like, this is a bracket 2 deck? Yeah.
I wouldn't call that bracket 2, but I'd call it bracket 3.
Oh no, I have Ancient Tomb.
Oh, yeah.
The bracket video coming soon. Mystical Tutor.
Goes right up there next to... I would say this is below Sylvan Tutor.
I say it's below Sylvan Tutor. This thing, it should just be Jeska's Will twice. If you're playing Mystical Tutor, you're going to go find Jeska's Will 90% of the time.
Or a Cyclonic Rift.
Or a Cyclonic
Rift. Or a Miracle card. I have put Reforge the Soul on top of my deck, or Temporal Mastery on top of my deck. Those are sweet.
Narset Parter of Veils.
Can't wait to hear this.
Okay, so I understand why it's here, which
Salty.
is why I'll accept questionable. I would rather put it in You're Just Salty. I think there is a natural bias coming from the Rules Committee and Wizards against things that do this, right? That say they can't draw more than one card each turn. They don't want to deny card draw, which I understand. It's not fun to be on the other side of that. But my biggest issue is the inconsistency factor. Because if you have this on here, Alms Collector should be on here too.
That's fair.
Right? And we also have Hull Breacher is banned.
Yeah.
Right? By comparison. Whereas when I saw Hull Breacher... When Hull Breacher got banned, I said, you should also ban Notion Thief.
That's true.
They go together. And Leovold's banned too, which does the same thing as Narset, except it draws cards when stuff's targeted.
MSC of Trent? Is that the
yeah, like, so... They have some of these effects that are banned, some of these effects that are game changers, and some of these effects that aren't affected. Like, Alms Collector is the least egregious, but it still does deny things if you get wheeled. You get one card.
Yeah.
And the player who controls the Alms Collector gets 9 in a multiplayer game, right? Like, so, if this is here, Alms Collector needs to be. If this is not going to be here, it does. If Alms Collector is not going to be here, it does not belong here.
I just want to say it's... salty because, like, planeswalkers aren't hard to deal with, in my opinion.
They can or can't be.
It depends on the board state, but I mean, most of the time, you just throw everything you have at it. But I mean, if one person has a planeswalker, you have 3 people to get rid of it.
Well, and not to mention the fact, Narset can't plus. Narset's minus effect is basically just what? What's that card?
You just look at the top 4 and put one in your hand.
Well, no, it has to be an instant or sorcery.
No, it's a non-creature.
Or non-creature, yeah. But it's like, it's restricted too. So like this, they're only putting this here because of that first line of text. When we have other things that still do it, like Chains of Mephistopheles, right, is, I think, a more egregious card than Narset. I love me some Chains, but like, I don't know. I think it's You're Just Salty because I do see
it's annoying.
They're trying. I see what they're trying to do with effects like this. But you have to hit them all if you're going to do it and just say, I don't want this in the game, or this should not appear that much in the game.
I'm down to put this at the top of You're Just Salty. I'd be even down to put it below Tergrid Unquestionable. What are your guys' thoughts? I'm down with top of You're Just Salty.
I think this card is, I would put it at top of You're Just Salty. Like, I think this one, out of the other 2, or the other 3 that are banned, like Leovold being in the command zone, Notion Thief being able to have Flash, and Hull Breacher for the same reason.
Like, if this had, as I say, this had Flash, nutty card.
Scary, yeah.
Terrifying.
Because it doesn't. Like, you see it coming.
Yeah.
Which land is this?
That is Mishra's Workshop.
What is Mishra's Workshop?
It taps for 3 colorless that can be spent for artifacts only.
Why is this on here?
No, that card is insane.
Yeah, think of Urza's. High Lord Artificer.
You just play it and you have 3 mana for artifacts.
High Lord Artificer.
This card is nuts.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay.
I'm probably in the wrong, but I also...
You play a land, you play artifact, Soul Ring, Signet, and you just you doubled your mana.
This card is...
Turn 1, you have 7 mana.
Very, very terrifying card. If you ever want to know why, you should look at some vintage gameplay of Workshops the deck.
Yeah, I've never
Metal
played.
Worker's probably in there.
Well, the biggest thing is that this card doesn't get played a lot in EDH because people don't have them.
I didn't even know this card existed.
Yeah, like it's a very scary card. Like I have seen like turn 1 Lodestone Golems is fucking miserable, man.
So it's Game Changer and not banned. If I should have put this in fucking Inspirit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you don't build artifact decks.
Yeah, I purposely don't build artifact decks.
Yeah,
I think artifacts are for nerds. Why are you building robots in a Magic game?
this in like when I had my Shroom the Hegemon deck.
Oh, yeah.
Disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
Disgusting.
So you're saying deserves a spot? Where
Deserves a spot. Absolutely deserves a spot.
I can see the
I
power.
would
Yeah.
say
I can see the power of it.
I would say above Notion, behind Tabernacle.
But yeah, because it's not game warping,
Yeah.
but it is such a powerful card that it deserves to be here.
Yeah.
It can warp a game depending on when it shows up and what's paired with it.
It's the worst version of turn 1 Soul Ring Signet. It's the worst version.
Yeah, but it is more restricting. It is definitely in that I am playing artifacts archetype.
Mhm.
It doesn't really belong out elsewhere, but for that archetype, it is so strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely deserves to be.
I think my biggest hang up is like I've never been too terrified of an artifact deck that I've played against because usually they're winning through non necessarily artifact ways unless they get into that weird thing with like Korok Ironworks and shit. Like at that point it's like, okay, you've earned your thesis.
You're
Like,
telling me I just got to put my Shroom deck together and play it here. Or play like Brea. I love me some Brea.
Oh, yeah.
Brea is not okay.
I put it in between Notion Thief and Smothering Tithe.
I think that's appropriate.
One of my friends had a Brea deck, 11 infinites.
She's an infinite machine. She
Yeah.
goes infinite with so many different things.
No, there's 11 infinite combos.
Yeah,
That thing
it's
is
not hard.
stupid.
Yeah, it was kind of fun because when she would play it, I would have a good time being like, oh, the fucking spotlight is off me as the combo player.
They never won. That was the funniest
Yeah, that was
part.
the funny part.
Yeah.
Next one, Lion's Eye Diamond.
Get out of here.
All
Why
right,
are you playing in bracket 3, man?
Mana Vault. Why are you playing in bracket 3, bro?
I mean, I want to say deserves a spot solely for the fact they've banned every other Jeweled Lotus, Mana Crypt.
Mana Vault belongs. Mana Vault definitely
That's
deserves
what
a spot
I'm
on the list. I think my only gripe is that Soul Ring absolutely deserves a spot on the list if you're going to put this
Yeah,
and Grim Monolith on the list.
yeah, same.
I would
Like,
say just put him and Grim Monolith.
A lot of
deserves a spot right now.
when I play CDH, like I find myself like taking a good amount of damage from this card a lot because I'm usually not able to pay the untap cost. I'm usually using it like a ritual or like I'm banking mana for a future ritual.
But to your credit, it is a color pie breaking card.
It is a color
this
pie breaking
is
card.
Dark Ritual and colorless.
Yeah.
Right? That you like Voltaic key enjoyers get to
True.
abuse the hell out of.
I'm going below Notion Thief.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's like
I would
it's
say above
really-
the Tutor.
I
I
would
would say
actually-
in front of
honestly,
Smothering.
I'd put it below Smothering Tithe.
Really?
I think most of the time I see this card used as a ritual.
Let's compromise here.
Sure. Because most of the time people just use it once unless they have artifact synergies that work with it further.
That's true.
Because it's very rare people are going to take 4 mana on
Or
their turn to
Kinnan.
untap it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't. We'll talk about him when we
Kinnan
talk
not-
about what should be on the
Yeah.
Game Changers list.
Kinnan should go back on. Food Chain should go back on. You're not playing those cards fairly if you're playing
No.
those cards.
Yeah.
Speaking of cards that don't get played fairly, Jeska's Will. I am a big Jeska's Will enjoyer. I know I ragged on Rhystic Study as to it should just go in every deck you can play it. So should Jeska's Will.
Oh, yeah.
The only decks I wouldn't play Jeska's Will in is if I was playing some fat commander, like a big battle cruiser bitch.
I
Like a
still
8
would,
CM.
just
I
to
still
get
would
him
because it
right.
helps you cast the battle
Yeah.
Dude,
cruiser.
turn 2, 7 mana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to get the most squeeze for the
That's fair.
most nut for the squeeze, you know?
That's true, but I mean, it depends. Honestly, it depends on the commander. But like, say you're running Tanook or something.
Yeah, this card is nuts. In that,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Turn 2 Tanook, you play Tanook, and then you have Warp with everything else for.
Early in my Magic journey, I found myself being like, why would I play Rituals? Like, Rituals, like, it's so fleeting of mana, but like, that's the fun part of Red. Like, when you get the Ritual and you hit that, like, that burst, and you're like, I'm playing on fucking. You hit the Limitless Bean, and you're immediately like, bam, bam, bam.
Mhm.
And like, I love Rituals. Whenever I play Red, there's so many of my Red decks that are enabled just because of the possibility of me like if you at home have ever played old League of Legends, when you got to run the 1% crit rune,
I know exactly what you're talking
and
about.
you hit the crit in a trade, and you're like, you go from being like, oh, I'm just going to hit him a little bit to like, kill him now. Like that's what I've read.
You crit once and you won lane.
Yeah.
OG.
That shit is exactly what playing rituals are. I love every time I play red, I always throw rituals in, and black too. Dark ritual too. I always run dark ritual. I love those cards.
This is a Sweat Lord card.
This is a Sweat Lord card. I'm down to put it at the bottom of Sweat Lord
for sure. Yeah, like it's always a powerhouse when it's played. You know, like
it's the worst thing you could hear is someone being like, "Can I get cards in hand?"
Yeah.
And it's like the fact that it's like you get to see the 3 things on top of your library, like so many times, like, oh, I missed my fucking land drop. Thanks. Even if I don't cast anything else, or if I just cast one thing, it's like,
I think at its worst, it is a 3 mana like draw 3 for the turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's already pretty good. Like
3 mana for 3 cards that you have to play that turn, or 3 mana for like 5, 6
somewhere
mana
between
most of the
5
time.
and
But the
7
fact that it
usually.
gives you the cards and you get 7 mana.
Oh,
yeah, if you have your commander, this card is just insane.
If you hit the lick on someone who like is holding a fat hand,
dude, in that Ashen game when I had 60 cards in hand, so if someone Jeska's willed me, I would have been like,
you know what? Just have it.
crap.
This is Imp Seal, right?
Yeah, goes right next to, just below Vampiric Tutor.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I would put it below the other ones too because it is sorcery speed.
No,
It
that's
does
true.
grab
Yeah.
everything, but you do have to do it in your turn, and it does go to the top deck, so it's usually not immediate. Definitely still a powerhouse. It's it's still Vampiric Tutor / Demonic Tutor in between, but it absolutely still deserves a spot for all the reasons the other ones.
I can't wait to hear y'all's opinion on this next card.
Saint August Arbiter,
Grand
Arbiter.
Grand Arbiter, Augustine, or whatever. I think it warps the game slightly in the way that it's played. I personally, and this is kind of getting into my Magic philosophy, which has kind of been coming out on display when talking through this tier list, is I am very much Goku versus Cell when I play Magic. I do not want to beat you because you had a bad hand, you got flooded, whatever. Like, I want to beat you in Magic because your deck did the thing, like, you played well, but I played better type shit.
Mm-hmm.
That is why I do not like playing denial cards. I like playing punish cards. I do not like playing denial cards. And this is a denial card.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of, you're just salty, but also like, I also think you're a little bit of a loser if you play this card.
I agree with the philosophy. I don't agree with the placement. I think this is a card that deserves the spot. And I think
very bottom.
if
it is cool ramp. It is cool ramp, so it is kind of like,
if it did one or the other, this card would never be here. But it's the fact that it discounts everything you play and makes all your opponent's stuff more expensive.
It warps
ubiquitously across the board. Yeah. It is a game warping card.
It's a bitch made card.
It is at the end of the day.
Yeah, it completely disrupts the mana equivalence of the entire game as soon as it comes out. So it deserves.
But Soul Ring's net 0 now. Soul Ring's a 2 for 2 now.
I'm actually willing to meet in the middle here on questionable. I don't know if it goes above or below Tergrid though.
I would say it goes under tutors, if anything, because like it's a good card. It does its job. It's annoying as hell.
I don't question it being on the list, but I think it's towards that lower part of the things I think deserve to be on the list.
Okay, I'm saying if you're playing this card, like you're a bitch, and you're a bitch, and you're playing blue-white, which means you're not playing creature heavy, and I usually play creature heavy, so I'm going to hit you, and you're just like, you're a free
they won't
set.
give you the chance. That's the whole point.
I see your argument, but I raise you Derevi.
Yeah,
and this card in Derevi is.
If you play Derevi too, you're a bitch. That card is too good.
I guess I used to be a bitch then because I used to.
Is that the 3-cost command zone one?
That
ring
enters
return.
Whenever she enters or you hit somebody with a creature, you tap or untap a permanent.
Yeah.
It's so gross. It's so gross. It's like, it's good. I get it. Like I do like combo. It's just I think that the core of blue-white is bitch made.
If
at the end of
you
the
run
day.
this card as your commander, you use water for your cereal.
Yeah.
This
is a commander. It's just you don't want to make friends.
Yeah. It's like you don't cards are annoying, but like, go ahead and do it, white boy. I'm going to hurt you though. Is awesome. Like it's.
Don't let me get you, Ricky.
Yeah.
Don't let me get you.
Polluted Bonds, cool card. I love that card. I think it's a easy cut, but you know we're talking about some other shit. Gifts Ungiven is partly to me why are you playing this in bracket 3, but also if you're not playing the fucking Savine's Reclamation, Brain Freeze, Underworld Breach.
That's why I think
whatever the fuck. Like, if you're not playing those 4 cards and you're actually going to give me an interesting pile of like, like I like those cards, like Burning Rune Demon, I think it is. The go
Tutor.
Find 2 cards, one goes in the graveyard, one goes to your hand. I think those cards are fun. And it kind of goes against the singleton nature of the game, because a lot of the time I'm going to find Kusho Evening Star, or I'm going to go find Gary, right? And it's like, which one do you want to give me? And I'm just going to get the other one, because I'm playing Graveyard. I find pile cards very fun. So this is really dependable on what you're going to grab. It's the fact that you're tutoring at best 4 things.
Yeah, so I was not a fan of this card being banned, but I am a fan of it being on the Game Changer spot. And the reason is that Intuition's been unbanned for a very long time, and then they made it a Game Changer. This is a slightly stronger Intuition, despite the fact that it is 1 more mana, because it is instant speed. But to your point, I have seen this card be played very fairly, and I have seen this card be played very unfairly, which is why I think like it has spots in bracket 3s. Like I loved in my Shroom deck, because this is one of my Game Changers in it, where I could just grab the combo pieces. It would be like Phyrexian Metamorph, Sculpting Steel, Chronomancer, and Simulacrum Synthesizer, right? It's no matter what you do, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
But I have also used it to be like, okay, I'm grabbing Supreme Verdict, Cyclonic Rift, Evacuation, and Desynchronization, because I needed a board wipe, right? So like there are a lot more interesting lines with Gifts Ungiven aside from just comboing, because it is super versatile. Also, my favorite mode of this is Double Entomb, because you can just grab 2 cards and be like, you have to send 2 cards to the graveyard, which is also awesome.
I think it's a cool card. The spirit of my feelings on this card is questionable, but I think it deserves a spot above the tutors, but below Smothering Tithe. That is my stance.
Yeah, I think it has when it is played, it is much higher impact than just the singleton tutors, particularly if someone's deck is built to use this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it just deserves a spot.
I encourage you guys to play it though. If you play this card against your friends, or I don't know, somehow me, because I left my house somehow, just give me an interesting pile to look at. Give me an interesting pile of cards to look at, not an interesting pile.
And just know what you're going to grab, so you're not staring at your deck for 10 minutes, please. That's my only ask.
Know what you're doing. If you're running this card, know
what you're doing.
Yeah, know you already have a plan.
It's a fine card. You want to tell us about this next one?
Dog shit. No, I'm kidding. It's good. It's a great card. It's a great card. You can go crazy too fast, especially with Duskmorn and the ability to just shit out glimmers and all this other stuff. It's crazy and get out of hand very strong. And I think it's a sweat card in my opinion, but I think it's on the.
We should mention what this card is. It's Serra's Sanctum.
Yeah, we came off of recording a game
where it did nothing.
I did nothing with it because board wipes and all this other bullshit. But
it does deserve a spot. It was a good use of Game Changer. I think thematically it did really well in the deck. I'm not even really pissed that it got played.
But I think it's probably on the lowest end of sweat, because if you're doing this, you're never doing anything for it.
This is not a sweat card to me. In fact, I actually think this card is questionable.
I'm down with putting it in questionable. I'm down with putting it.
The ceiling of enchantments is not as high as the ceiling for creatures, which is why I think Gaia's Cradle deserves a spot card.
That's true.
I have done some egregious things with Serra Sanctum, do not get me wrong, but like I think in bracket 3, in the spirit of honoring bracket 3, this is not something that's super high. And this is not a CDH powerhouse card.
That's true.
You very rarely see it. So like I think while it is a good choice, because for the decks it is truly utilized well in, it is very good.
Yeah.
But like you don't play this card casually.
That's what I'm saying. You're never doing anything fair with it.
Okay, this next one, I actually thought of another tier that we got to do. Valhalla, brother. If you're playing this card, you're playing green. You're bringing back you're bringing back lands.
We need to talk about it.
Why isn't it bracket 3?
I think so. We're talking about Glacial Chasm right now, and we were about to make its own category for this. But I think it just belongs to why you're playing this bracket 3. This is just such a prison stun card that, like, it is...
Fully changes the game.
Is it overpowered? No. Is it annoying as hell? Yes. And I think the biggest thing is because people shy away from land destruction is the reason this card gets so egregious in lower brackets.
Yes.
In bracket 3, I think this card is a menace because not everyone's playing Strip Mine and Wasteland. Play Wasteland in every deck. It's not rude to waste a non-basic land.
Yeah.
And you need it for things like this.
That's why I like the new prepared card. That's just a rocket salvo every time.
That card is so messed up.
I know. It's so funny, though, but just the fact that it's a recurable way to be like, you know what? You don't
Screw
get the
this.
guile.
Yeah.
You don't get the Field of the Dead. You know what I mean?
You get salty about your crop rotation targets, play Wasteland. You stop the crop rotation target. I'm just saying.
I have a hard time with decks. I mean, I understand fogs are strong. I like fogs. I do not like the committal or the non-committal, I won't die on the battlefield. Like, if you are playing a aggro or a stompy or anything like type of combat deck, you want to be seeing the Tranquiline Halls. You want to make it to Valhalla. You want to show your valor. If you are fogging me to stop me from clashing with your creatures or with you, or you're playing this card where it stops stuff, I think you're just not making it into Valhalla. I don't think, like they said all that needs to be said about this. This is getting looped. You're never hitting this person. They're turtling until they're big enough to swing out. And if you board wipe this person, they're effectively not playing the game.
I will say this is another great plug for what I tell people they should do. If someone's playing bitchy shit like this and doesn't want to get hit, play Questing Beast.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do about it.
Sun Spiralings.
Is that the... Oh, well, yeah.
Can't gain life. Damage can't be prevented.
Yeah, and
Lynx,
then it deals...
Sunspiral?
Sun
Yeah,
Spiralings.
that card is...
I took
sick.
it out. I don't like metagaming my friends, but it would have been good in my other deck.
Yeah.
We already talked about Gifts Ungiven. Can I just put this below?
Intuition goes below it. I would actually put Intuition below the other tutors, too, because it's sorcery. So, like, just below Imperial Seal. Because there is a certain level of agency that is granted to your opponents of this, and they are still only going 1-for-1.
Yeah.
You are putting 2 cards in the graveyard, so you can assemble some gross intuition piles, but not to the same egregious level that Gifts Ungiven does it, particularly with the lack of instant speed. But it still deserves a spot. This is still tutoring for 3 cards, 2 of which go to your graveyard, 1 goes to your hand. It is super strong.
It is super strong. We want to just go to Force of Will. Do you have anything to say about Intuition?
No.
Me neither.
I've never ran it. Never seen anyone play it.
Force of Will?
You're just salty, bro.
Yeah, it's a counterspell.
You're just salty, man.
It's a counterspell and they lose a card.
I think I'm debating on which should go first, Force of Will or Narset Partner Avails. I think they both deserve to be at the top of your just salty.
I think it goes above
I think Force Will goes to the bottom of you. Well, I think Orcish Bowmasters and Seedborn Muse at the front. It goes below Narset. And the reason I say this is because we have things similar to it, like Flare of Denial, Subtlety being, I think, one of the more egregious examples. Like, if we're allowed to have all the Evoke elementals, particularly Solitude and Subtlety, like, what are we doing with Force of Will, man? Like, even in bracket 3, there have been times where a Force of Will has been needed because one counterspell isn't enough for whatever the hell someone's doing. So I get that people don't like blue. They don't like being counterspelled because they don't like being told no. But we need cards that do that. And since we have so many other free effects that work in similar situations, like even Deflecting Swat, which is no longer a game changer.
No, because it's too situational.
But it's barely situational. Like, and Deflecting Swat has situations where, it's worse than a counterspell. There are also situations it's insanely better.
Yeah.
Like for example, in the game that we just did where I played, what was it, Immoral Bargain and blew up 6 things. If that got Deflecting Swatted, they could have just blown up all my stuff instead. Like, in which case it's devastating, right?
Yeah.
Like, Deflecting Swat is insane on its ceiling, whereas Force of Will, its ceiling and floor are the same thing.
Yeah,
it stops a thing.
While we're in Magic philosophy, I know I talked a lot about stuff that says can't. This isn't necessarily saying can't. There is a fun mind game that happens behind counterspells. there is not a fun mind game when you have 15 counter spells and your deck is just stop other people from playing Magic with no real win con. That's where I start.
Yeah, you Kami the Crescent Goon players.
Dude, Baral.
No, that's true.
No, we
Baral
play with a
is the
Kami
worst.
player
Oh.
who may have been on this channel. Yeah, I mean, in the Inspirit game, this should be out by the time this comes out. In the Inspirit game, like that crash out was off of that Spirit too. It's like no one's doing anything. No one's playing Magic. We're all just putting stuff on the board, being like, look at these cool cards, and nothing's happening. Like that's not fun. Like show me some blood sport in the game, or show me some cool card interactions.
I was swinging the all game.
You were like the only one.
Yeah,
I was being very pillow 40, but and I will say to follow up on Forceful, because I know that the argument's going to come up with Fierce Guardianship too. There is so much anti-counter stuff that is so good now that I think this has lost a lot of.
Let's just hit
Fierce Guardianship goes right alongside it because Fierce Guardianship is actually worse because it hits less, and while it doesn't cost you a card when you have your commander, high cost commanders can't really make good use of this card. And it's non-creatures only. Like it hits all the things that Subtlety doesn't, and we have Subtlety.
I mean, shit like Jeska's Will and this and Deflecting Swat are all like reasons that people in like very high power have been playing Rograk.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, okay, like I start my game with these cards online, I can cast them now for free.
Yeah, the level of impact, these definitely have higher impact in bracket 4 and higher.
Yeah.
But that's bracket 4 and higher. The game changes list doesn't matter to those.
Yeah.
What's the name? Gamble?
Last thing about Fierce Guardianship is you said it best. When I played Inspirit, I thought about it. It's like if I get Fierce Guardianship on my Inspirit cast and it gets stopped, we're fighting. Like it tilts me so hard.
That was the first thing I thought about as soon as I saw stations and vehicles be commanders. I was like, oh, so we're just countering commanders now for 0. That's fun.
Gamble, I think this card's dog shit, honestly. But also, I think it's just because I'm really unlucky. It's nice. It's an unconditional tutor, but like
you can you can toss it.
Most of the time that I'm playing it not with a perfect 7, right? Like
you love your grip too much.
Yeah, you're playing it. If you play it with a perfect 7, like in your opening hand, you are at 6 cards. There is a 16% chance the thing you go and gets discarded, or less than that. It's a 1 in 7. It always happens to me. So I really just think this card is dog shit. I don't really run it anymore because I think it's dog shit.
Gamble is the one out of this kind of cycle of tutors that I think is questionable. Yeah. Because its potential, like its ceiling is congrats, you just demonic tutored. Yeah. Cool stuff. But its floor is you entombed something accidentally, right?
2 cards went to the graveyard.
I think I understand them putting it on there. I think I understand them keeping it. But I would honestly be okay seeing more gambles in my life because it's also just a fun card to play.
Fun, especially talk about the Spirit of Red and like that high you get where it's like when it hits, it fucking hits.
Red, if you're a gambling addict, play red. I love it.
Play red.
While we're finishing up the tutor, let's just finish up the tutors.
Yeah.
This is demonic.
Demonic goes above, I think, all the others.
Yeah. Except Gifts Ungiven.
Yeah. Well,
wait, where did it
go? It's just more.
I think that's correct.
It's just more cards and plays into whatever synergies.
Intuition's towards the bottom because it's
and then
Enlightened goes below Mystical Tutor though.
Me too.
I think enchantments and artifacts are the least impactful of those 3 things that you can search for.
Except for Rhystic Study.
Sure, yeah. I mean, searching for Rhystic Study is a great time, but I can also, like the other 2, can search win conditions.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas, and granted, there are enchantments and artifacts that are win conditions, but they're a lot less and usually more conditional. Like,
like
as the king of going to find Corkland Ironworks.
That's true. I was going to say, because think about it, what you're going to search for Approach the Second Sun, 7 mana.
And with Mystical Tutor,
No, I just wait for my pod mate to wheel me into it.
That's my point. That's the thing. If you're looking for like Enlightened Tutor, I just think it only should be for win cons at that point.
That crash out was validated. It was worth it. I can't crash out in any more videos now.
Salty.
Field of the Dead.
Field of the Dead. I understand how this gets out of hand. I've never seen it get out of hand.
I think it's just salty.
I think this is a year just salty.
Because it's a great card. I'm not going to deny that.
I think it's above Bowmaster, below Seedborn.
I think it's above Seedborn.
I put it above Seedborn. I think Seedborn is much less egregious than Field of the Dead. But like Field of the Dead it takes a minute.
Yeah.
It takes a minute. Like,
Or you drop in and get a zombie. But
and it gets out of hand when you have more board presence to utilize it, but like,
I don't think it should go in every bracket 3 deck.
No.
But also, so it's like I'm glad it's a game changer for that reason, but I also don't think it should count towards the game changer list because it's like, or to your game changer points. I'm not saying that they should make a points list, but like, if you sat down like, hey, this is a bracket 3, but I do have a 4th one and it's Field of the Dead and I'm not playing green, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're not playing green, why are you playing this card? Like, unless you're playing something like what's the one that bounces? Like Patron of the Moon is the only other one I could really see this in because you do get to abuse it, or any of the like weird blue merfolk that let you like bounce lands and stuff. Yeah. Like that's where like stuff like this belongs. But like it is kind of, it's free making an army, but
in that Toff game, I went crazy. And I made like, I think it was like 20 Field
You made way more Scoot Swarms than you did zombies, though.
But it was such an, the Field of the Dead was such an afterthought. And I scape shifted. I played like a million things. Yeah. I spent the mana too. All of my mana came back in the scape shift untapped. And I only made 20 zombies. Like, it doesn't seem game changer level power. It seems nice to be able to always have a chumper up. Yeah. But it's like, I just feel like a lot of people don't run enough keyword cards.
Good question. If someone scape shifts and I op agent, do I just steal all their lands? Or is it just one?
I would have to read them both. I don't know the exact verbiage.
We can check after.
Yeah, we'll answer that question later.
Farewell. I personally just don't like this card. We need a tier. I'm just salty.
Sorry.
I just don't like this card because one, it exiles, which I guess it's its strength, but just on like a personal level, I just don't like it because it's like, all right, we're playing for another 45 to hour and a half.
Depends.
Because at least with Cyclonic Rift, when I lose what I've spent the entire game doing, someone else is like significantly closer to winning and closing out the game. This one is like, okay, bud, like you played this card because you were in last. Now we're all in last.
I think it's because you have 4 options. You are able to, like, if you just say, oh, enchantments, that just shuts down my whole deck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think I want to say it's like maybe the higher end of salty.
I would put it,
or questionable.
I would definitely add it over Gamble or Tergrid or Serra. It's probably a high questionable for me.
I definitely put it in questionable because we do have cards that are all similar but not quite as flexible and powerful.
Yeah.
Right? We have Final Judgment, which exiles our creatures. We have Austere Command, which is very flexible. We have,
but that's destroy.
I like Austere Command.
We have Planar Cleansing, which is destroy all non-land permanents. So but they all don't exile, and they aren't all flexible like Farewell. So this is like the best card of its class.
I like at least an Austere Command. If you're playing big shit, you're like, all right, get rid of big shit. But if you're playing little token babies, you can be like, okay, like we're only keeping the babies.
Yeah,
the fact that it hits creatures flat out is kind of what's the thing.
If you choose all 4 options, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
Bad person and a bad player.
Yeah. They should have like a thing where it's like it's overloaded where you choose all of the options and it's like also get rid of all lands.
It should be like choose one or all.
Yeah.
But
I think it's good if your deck has a specific synergy thing that it's going for. Like if you're an artifact deck and you're running only artifacts and you're like, all right, buy everything else. Like this is good.
That's what I'm saying.
Or like you play this and then you Teferi's Protection yourself.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's pretty strong.
But and the only other reason is like you're playing Planeswalker.
I'm putting it at top of questionable. I'm playing.
Yeah, I think when they put it on the list, I kind of was like, I don't agree
Someone's
with
just salty
this.
about the card.
Yeah, like.
That's why I want to say it's salty more than anything.
Yeah, let's put it in you're just salty. Because I think this is just like...
I think it's high salt. Yeah,
playing board wipes is fine.
It never feels good.
Is this the best board wipe of its kind? Yes. But it's still just a board wipe. And it's not asymmetrical.
Pro tip is when you're building and you're choosing board wipes, you should try to find creative ways to make your board wipes asymmetrical if you're running stuff that should be symmetrical. Like... Mass Calcify, pretty cool card.
Winds of Abandon, one of my favorites.
Yep.
Or just sack up and play a Garruk's
Fumigate.
Wake. Yeah, Fumigate.
Fumigate's a great one.
There's a ton of cards, or find ways to give your shit indestructible, like he said. Speaking of which, you mentioned this card, Teferi's Protection. There's so many cards that do this now.
Deserve a spot.
I think it shouldn't be here. There's so many cards that do this now.
Listen, it's 3 mana, dude.
None of them are as egregious as this. So, like, Everybody Lives protects everybody. Heroic Intervention is hexproof and indestructible, but it can still be, like, exiled.
What's the one you have to gift?
The Blue and Burrow one.
But that just gives your stuff hexproof and indestructible. It doesn't.
The biggest thing, your life can't change.
Yeah.
There's also Eerie Interlude, where all your shit phases out till you're up.
But that's an immediate flicker.
But you can get hit still.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I think it's because this card does everything. It basically says you do not exist and all your stuff does not exist. Is such a strong blanket effect that I think there should be some level
it's a
of
one ring
to
built in to Eerie Interlude. Plus,
it's actually stronger because
kind
it
of
phases out your stuff.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny, though, if you get caught, like, yanked out of the Teferi's Protection with a damage can't be prevented card. I think that's pretty funny.
It's funny. Play questing beast.
It's funny, but, like, listen, I run this in Jisath.
Well, no, because your life total can't change.
It
doesn't matter.
Your life can't change.
Your life cannot change. Damage prevention effects
That's the thing. Is like I run
that.
this in Jisath, so imagine I get a double strike Jisath. I have 20 dinos on the board, and you're like, all right, we got a board wipe, we got to do this, we got to... And then you, before anyone even does anything, not even in response, I just go, I have Teferi's Protection.
It's always funny when you have like a game, like an actual game or turn, and then you're like, you know what, I'm just going to preemptively do this. Teferi's Protection.
It puts you in such a safe spot.
Yeah.
That you can't do... Like,
your board gets guaranteed back to its upkeep.
And the only way they can really deal with it at that point is they have to waste their turn keeping their mana up or not doing what they would have done. And basically waste a round trying to deal with you immediately as soon as you come back.
I am going to check though real quick about damage can't be prevented. And
I think damage you can still hit someone in Teferi's Protection.
I gotta check it. Okay, damage cannot be prevented does override Teferi's Protection because your life total can't change is the effective removal of damage in some ways.
Okay.
So yeah, like Questing Beast can still hit somebody.
That's still fine,
but it's still fine. Like it's still
but
good.
It protects your board.
Yeah,
I think it's fun.
And you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a ton of cards that aren't game changers that are just strong versions of this card. I think this is just the one with the most notoriety to it,
and the cheapest.
And most of those other ones, like most of the ones that like truly like phase out everything or protect their stuff, are all either the same cost that do less or cost more.
Like Eerie Interlude's 5.
Eerie Interlude's 4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's Cosmic also Interventions 4, which is
there's
similar.
also the one Galadriel's Dismissal.
Yeah, but that's also more narrow because you need to overload it, don't you?
The overload cost, it just makes it 2.
Okay, but like it also only protects your creatures; it doesn't protect you.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like, this is the most egregious version of this card that exists.
Yeah, I think it deserves a spot. You can arguably say it unquestionable.
I'm going to say it goes above Gamble. I don't think it goes much higher.
I think it goes above. I think it deserves a spot just because how cheap it is too and how much it covers, and I want to say it's above.
I will say it does fundamentally change how the game is played because it does turn like your opponent's board wipes into one-sided for you. It has the potential to alter how a game is.
It only really changes if you know they have it though.
Yeah, but I hold up to Teferi's Protection all the time once I have it. If I have a board that I think is worth protecting, or even just
I'm saying it changes the game for other people.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah. The cards in your hand should change the way you play the game.
That's why I think it deserves a spot, and I think it's better than the tutors because one, you're going to search for it.
I don't think it's better than the tutors. This is not something I always tutor for.
Not always, but the payoff from it, I think, is.
I think most of the time I would prefer to tutor for.
90% of the time, you're playing it to guarantee your win.
I can understand. Say not the Augustine. I'm just going to call him Augustine. We're on a first name basis now. I can understand him being at the bottom here. I can understand it being ahead of Augustine.
Yeah.
That makes me when I make that neural connection though, I think Augustine should be down here now. I think it should be the top of questionable. I don't think he deserves a spot. I just think you're
just-
a bitch.
I think it's because of how much he changes
Okay,
the
okay.
flow of a game.
And that's what I'm
right?
saying,
And
too,
I think
with
that's the
Teferi.
only reason he's there. Right?
Same with Teferi, because like people are like, "Oh, he has big dinos. We got to board wipe him because he's going to swing 80 power." And then it's like, "All right,
Oops, I'm gone.
all right, I swing everything at you, or I board wipe. All right, Teferi's protection. You
There's
wasted
still a
a
fair
turn."
amount of counterplay off of the Teferi's protection too, because you know they're coming back. Like I don't think it It's the same fucking thing as Field of the Dead, where it's like I don't think it deserves a whole point, but I don't think it deserves. I'll put it in deserve a spot if you guys say it. Both
I think it goes at the very bottom. Like I think out of the things that I think belong on the list, it is probably towards the bottom. But I think it should still stay there because again, I don't want to see people playing this every single time I sit down for a game of Bracket 3 Commander. Like because the card is very, very, very clutch and very, very powerful to the point where it can put you so far ahead, particularly in conjunction with something like Farewell.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, well.
This shit was so tight the first time it got played against me when I was a little Magic Timmy.
Mm-hmm.
You have some thoughts about this card?
Yeah. Now that we have that category, this is a why are you playing it in Bracket 3? Because this card breaks the spirit of what you're supposed to be doing in Commander. And this is Dranith Magistrate.
Yeah, we're talking about Dranith Magistrate. You're supposed to be having fun with your friends in Bracket 3. Why are you playing it?
This is a card that I think is necessary in the Bracket 4 and 5s. I wish it didn't interact with the command zone the way it does. Because then I think this card is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a card that in Bracket 3 shuts down the point of Commander just incidentally. And there's other ways you can shut down the other strategies like Cascade and playing stuff in your graveyard that you should just play those over because you're gonna have a better time.
Yeah.
Like so I just don't think this belongs in Bracket 3s. Like I get why it's on the list for that exact reason. I mean there was arguments that this card should have been banned just because of how it interacts with the command zone,
which is so cheap.
I also wouldn't hate. I wouldn't hate if they did that. They're like, we just don't like how this interacts with the command zone. There's other cards that work around this stuff.
Or just make a new one that's like says same thing except commanders.
Well, no, you would have to specify because they don't want to do text that's specific to Commander and things that are printed in Standard and stuff, unless it's a Commander set. But you could just print it as cards played from anywhere except the hand. Can't be played. Or
that's true.
And then you're good. Well, that doesn't work. So it has to be any card. You cannot play cards from exile or your graveyard. Done.
Okay.
Yep.
What about Panoptic Mirror? That's what this one is?
Oh, this card is so messed up, man. I can't believe they unbanned this card. Like, I get it. It's an expensive card. It does weird things. It usually takes an extra turn, before you get it on. But maybe I just hate this card. I think it's questionable. It might not need a spot because I think in Bracket 3, this card is almost always used to take infinite turns.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like it doesn't belong in Bracket 3. It's not going to do much in Bracket 4 and 5. So
this is actually splitting the difference. Like you also aren't making it to Valhalla, but I do like chaining extra turns. It's cool. No one else likes it though, and it's something that I do in the privacy of my own home, maybe with a loved one, but not in front of my friends.
Yeah, I think it's just don't play it in Bracket 3.
Yeah.
If you're using it for anything other than taking infinite turns, like, what are you doing with it?
Yeah.
And then you're not supposed to do that in Bracket 3. So, like, let's just leave it there. It's fine.
I feel like this one's going to get some
flack.
I think this goes...
Well, it's Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah,
right?
Cyclonic Rift. I think this goes below Notion Thief.
I agree.
I mean, it absolutely deserves a spot. It is.
Damn, I was looking for conflict for the video, dude.
But it's one of the strongest one-sided board wipes.
And you're going to tutor.
And it's the speed. Yeah,
and you're going to tutor.
One-sided board wipes, even if it is temporary, right? It's not like, oh, I got rid of everything. It's no, I put everything back in your hand. Like,
it's so good. It's played in 25% of decks.
Yeah,
and that's the thing is you are going to tutor.
If you need it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That is a card that you will tutor for every time needed.
It also feels pretty good to just even if you don't have to cast the Overload and you just need to get rid of the one thing, you can or you don't have mana, just casting it for its as
an unsummon is fine. I've done it.
Yeah, I've done it before
too.
Sometimes you got
because you can target anything.
Yeah, so
not lands, but
Yeah, it absolutely deserves a spot. I don't think this is a hyper sweat card. Like, I don't think like if you play this, you're the scum of the earth
It's
or
a
like
necessary
playing
evil.
too hard.
I get on Abe a lot about it because he plays it a lot. I also play it a lot. I think that's kind of like the cheeky thing of the joke that I make to Abe.
It's not about you do it with everything that's blue. You complain about every blue card you don't like, but run them yourself.
No, that's not true. I don't run this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy.
That's because you're only
You're
allowed
not
3
complaining
game
about.
changers.
You're not complaining about them.
Yeah. Well, I complain about them because they're strong.
Yeah, but you also run Rhystic Study.
I don't talk about the dude at the gym that benches like 80 pounds because like he's an ant to me, dude. Like I don't care what he's doing.
But that's not what you're talking about. The guy.
Let's not slamming the guys who are trying to get there. If you're
you
going
bench
to the
80
gym
pounds,
at all,
yeah,
you're doing something good.
You're
for
doing
yourself.
more than 60% of everyone else. You're doing good. That was a bad metaphor. I'm sorry. But it's not even on the rate. It's like why would I have opinions on a normal card? Like if you ask me like what I thought of a common fucking blue 4-mana flyer, I'd be like, I guess it's a 4-mana flyer. But like these cards are worth having opinions about because they are good. They are worth deliberating on.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, but you run both.
I do run both because they're good.
But you also complain about
this
it.
This is a moot point.
You and I are saying the same things that are forcing us back into the cycle. Like
Everybody complains about everything when they're not the ones doing it.
That's fair.
I complain about while I'm doing it. At least I have the gall
The
there.
self-awareness.
Yeah. I always say I'm sorry when I play Rhystic Study. I always say I'm sorry when I play Cyclonic Rift. They're good cards. They deserve to be played. They deserve their spots on here.
Yeah.
Cards that don't. I'm just going to go ahead and praise this here.
Crop rotation. We already made a short about this.
Actually, let me bring up this guy's YouTube handle and we'll address him directly.
No. We don't need to go that far. We don't need to go that far. But this card only ever will search for whatever game changer lands you are playing for or something that's utility. And when it's used for utility, and maybe drawing a card or two off of like a Get Drog monster, which is just a sweet interaction, right? Like, if this is finishing my Tron lands, that's rad.
Yeah.
If you went to go grab this for a Talon Gates of Medarda to protect your commander at instant speed, that's rad. You Bajuka Bog someone like me at instant speed, that's rad. These are things you should be able to do without any punishment. And if you're going to go get your Field of Dead and your Guy's Cradle, cool. You went to go find your game changer when you needed it.
Yeah.
That's okay. We have other tutors that are infinitely better than this in almost every single scenario. Like, it does not belong here.
So I've made the self-leveling comment about what's the Lotus for Commander?
Jewel Lotus.
Jewel Lotus. Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I blanked on that. I made that as like it auto-regulates itself to high power because why the fuck are you playing it in low power? Same with like Dockside when I've gone to my boy's defense. It's one of those cards where it feels like it self-levels, and that was my personal opinion. So to hear Wizards say that about like Kinnan and other cards like that,
and Urza and Vorinclex.
It's like you already know what it's going to do, and it's like, yeah, it's going to be used unfairly. So you're taking it off of the game changer list because people already know what it's going to do because it's unfair. Like you already know people are going to use it unfairly. Crop rotation is lumped in because of who it is associated with, not because of the card's power itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If there was a Harrow that let you sacrifice 2, go get 2, I would really like that. I've been wanting to print that. But like that would be understandably be on this list, but not Crop Rod.
Comparing this card to every other tutor on the list,
it's the
just
weakest one.
Nowhere close.
Every single card above this is worth the game changer point more, even the ones I disagree with, than Crop Rod.
This is just the weakest card on the list by far.
Yeah, shouldn't be here. If I'm going to leave it with this and we'll go on to the next one. If crop rotation is a game changer, so should all of the fetch lands.
No, I wouldn't go that far because this finds anything.
Just leave it. That was catchy.
So like, and this is my other.
I know it can only go find fucking forest or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But crop rotation, like if crop rotation is game changer, Sylvan Tutor should be a game changer. And then once Sylvan Tutor's game changer, what other tutors then become under the evaluation? Like 2 mana sorcery to find any green creature is still very, very strong. Like we have so many things that are so close to that. Like even Diabolic Intent. Like sacrificing creature doesn't matter to cast Demonic Tutor. Like that just replaced Demonic Tutor in most of my decks. This isn't even as good as those.
For all you go into the comments section, Devin made your point for you. I was just trying to be inflammatory. I don't think tutors are as strong as you think. I think some of them definitely deserve spots. It's just I feel like we're getting close to the death of Singleton. Like we mentioned earlier, I saw something in one professor video where it was like, what was it, 50 or something % of cards have come out since the pandemic.
Oh my god, yeah, it's a ridiculous
the start of the pandemic.
Number.
And like a lot of Magic's cards are recent, and it's like it's weird to think that like I've been playing since Strixhaven. Well, I've been seriously playing since Strixhaven, and I've seen half of Magic's life cycle.
Yeah, in terms of cards produced. Yeah.
In terms of cards produced. Going back to the far side of Magic's life cycle, Braids.
OG Braids?
This thing's such a piece of shit.
Let me pull it up.
I have
it
no...
It just says on your upkeep, sack a creature.
At the beginning of each player's upkeep, they sacrifice a permanent.
Is it because it targets lands? Is that why it's here?
Yes. Yeah. It's like back in the day, the reason it was banned originally as a commander, you could play it in your 99 in the old school commander ban list.
Oh, you can't sacrifice or enchantments.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Non-enchantment permanent?
Yeah. It says artifacts, creatures, or lands.
Oh god, so you can't even sacrifice planeswalkers. That's like now this just creates even weirder windows where you can abuse the hell out of this thing. That's kind of cool. But like people would power this out on their turn 1. They would go Mana Crypt, Swamp, Dark Ritual from Command Zone, Braids. If you went 4th, nobody plays the game anymore.
Hearing the story it's going and you making it into Valhalla, brother, because that's some like evildoer shit. Like, I'm sorry, your crush rejected you on the playground in 4th grade.
Yeah, and like if we're talking about the example where it's like, oh, you know what you're getting into when you see this. This is the most egregious example. Like, honestly, when they unbanned it, I was astounded. Like, it just made no sense to me for a card that is, while not the most broken thing. Like, when you play this on turn 4, who cares? Mm-hmm. But the fact that it can be in your command zone, you can play it on your first 2 turns, like, it's just not a fun experience.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things, especially with, like, in the bracket system video that we will do. Comment down below if you want to see that. That you have to remember, if you're not playing bracket 5, we're playing to have fun. We're going to sling some spells. We're probably going to drink some grog. Cold One sponsor us. And this isn't a fun card to play against. So that's why you ain't making it into Valhalla. It's not a Death of the Spirit of Combat or the Warrior Spirit. It just
sucks.
It just sucks. Yeah, is this fun? Is this fun for you playing this?
Out of all the prison cards too, like this one coming down early is the most egregious. So like Winter Orb and Static Orb are things that affect the game way later.
Why aren't those on this list? I feel like they should at least be in like you're just salty or questionable.
I think that they're definitely like debatable things, but I think once you get rid of one of them, it becomes a what's the line we draw.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I think that's the biggest issue with stuff like that. Because, trust me, as someone who has gone Shockland, Utopia Sprawl on my first turn and second turn, land, play Derevi, untap my Utopia Sprawl land into a Winter Orb on people, like, yeah, that's toxic as hell, but like...
That's in the you ain't making it into Valhalla.
Yeah, like, that's, you know... Degen shit. But like... Winter Orbs, when they're played like that, are a win condition, not, you know, just being a jerk. Let me just
buy a game.
Whereas, like, a lot of people play... It's the upheaval argument. A lot of people... Or the Armageddon argument. A lot of people play it just for the sake of it, not for the intent of using this to push their advantage or win the game. Whereas, like, that's what you should be doing.
It's a feel bad.
Yeah. You want to flash some of these through? Do some quick ones and not go in order?
Sure. What do we want to do next?
Right. Let's do the Mox Suite. Do you think why are you not playing this in bracket 3?
No, I think it deserves a spot. Because like I love playing these when I have a low cost commander. Like when I played Grist, I had a Chrome Mox. Mm-hmm. I love that. Turn 2 Grist is fantastic. Or like one of my favorite decks of all time was a Gallia, the Endless Stance deck. Playing her on turn 1 is so much fun. So, like, I think they deserve a spot. I think if like Mana Vault, Grim Monolith, and that kind of stuff does go on this list and deserve a spot, these do fit in that category as well. But they are actually probably the heftiest cost out of all those.
They
do lose a card.
Yeah. They shift the color pie is part of the reason why I think they deserve the spot. I also think they are fun or they are good cards in non-creatures matter decks. Like I have it in my Narset deck, or I had it in my Narset deck and I took it out, and it's good because it's
prowess.
It's a prowess trigger.
Yeah. Well, like, and where do we draw the line between these and like Mox Opal, right? Which is one of the easiest ones to activate of the like non-traditional Moxes, which shouldn't be a game changer because it does require commitment. But like these are significantly higher than that, but not like too much. So I think they deserve a spot. I think you should have to sacrifice something if you are going for max speed.
I'm putting these below the black tutors, but above the other tutors.
I think that's fine.
Oh.
I mean, still one of my favorite things to do is
maybe I put
Mox Diamond is definitely better than Chrome Mox by a long shot.
Another one is Ancient Tomb.
Why is this here?
Yeah.
Why is this here?
Ancient Tomb, I think, should not be considered a game changer.
No.
It costs your land drop, right? It's not an acceleration that is a freer, right? Than like compared to Chrome Mox, like Ancient Tomb is not nearly as good.
Yeah, because it's a 2 for 2. I mean, every time you use the thing.
Yeah, it has at least some level of downside in that it costs life. And like, to me, Ancient Tomb doesn't belong here.
Okay, another quick one. Coalition Victory shouldn't be here for me. It takes so much.
I would say why bracket 3? Why bracket 3?
Because this is the only place it could be played.
I think this is the only bracket 3 is the only place this card could be successful.
Really?
Yeah, I think bracket 4 it becomes a little too hard because the amount of free interaction becomes unrestricted.
Yeah,
right?
It's also just color dependent. If you're not running a 5
color, you can only play it in 5 color. And yeah, it's like we have a ton of 5 color commanders, but this is also still it's
hella expensive.
It costs like 8.
Yeah.
And it costs 8 and is a super conditional win condition.
But it's not hard to do anymore.
Sure, but it's still super narrow in how many decks can even play it. Like I don't think
I've never seen it.
Coalition Victory can come back. Let people have fun. I got Beacon of Immortality with a Tainted Remedy out yesterday, and it's like, yeah, it sucks when it happens, but like,
I get it.
Coalition, it's like, hey, you got it. Cool, man.
Next on the rapid fire is Adnaz. It's going up.
God,
it's going below Underworld Breach for me.
Oh, in the why are you playing?
Yeah, why are you playing?
I almost want to say Sweat.
I think it's Sweat Lord. So like because
like you can see people playing like Sweat Lording in bracket 3 with an Adnaz.
I have played an Adnaz in a bracket 3 deck, and it is solely because like when you don't care about the life gain, you just want to draw cards. It is one of the most egregious draw engines. Like, is it as bad as Necropotence? No. Is it as bad as like? It's just the regas potential of this card is insane.
Do you think it goes above or below Rhystic?
I think it's below Jeska's Will still. Okay. But I think it is up there in terms of what this card can do is nuts. Also, if it is a combo card in Modern where I can play Angel's Grace and then play this and just...
Yeah.
Bro, people can win the game that way. If you're playing it in bracket 3, you are being super sweaty. And even if you are playing it and not breaking it, it is still such a good value engine. Like, if I could play this in Aerith, my God, it would be insane.
Okay. No, this is the last one I thought would be lightning round. Some of these lightning rounds are getting or like thunder. That wasn't a good joke. Grim Monolith. I think this is a why you playing in bracket 3.
It goes wherever Mana Vault is, it goes right next to it.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's like you're using this unfairly.
True.
You're probably using it as it is a 1 card of any 2 card combo. You can 1 card it with fucking Walking Ballista.
Oh no, it's usually paired with
like Kinnan. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was thinking
Kinnan's one of them. Forsaken Monument and
Monolith.
Or things like Power Artifact, which just let you discount its activated ability to untap itself, right? Like, and it's always used to generate infinite colorless mana. But I think because by itself it is worse than Mana Vaults, I think it just goes right next to it. It's fine. It deserves a spot.
Where is Mana Vault?
Where did we put Mana Vault? Oh, it's right there. Next to Mishra's Workshop, top line of Deserted
Oh, right
Spot.
here.
Yeah, I would just stick it. I would put it below Smothering Tithe because it's generally just an infinite generator.
I mean, they have the same thing, right? You're paying to untap both of these.
Well, this you can pay at any time to untap it, which is a little bit different, but it does cost one more.
I want to put it above.
Sure, it does have higher. It has a higher ceiling than Mana Vault.
Gaia's Cradle.
I'm putting this in. You ain't making it into Valhalla. I just don't want to see it in my games.
Humility.
Yeah. Another one that I thought would be a quick lightning round one is shouldn't be here. I think Biorhythm.
Yeah,
It's an expensive card, dude.
It's an annoying card because like you will just randomly lose out of nowhere. But like if we look at the other things that have been like it that have been originally game changers and then removed, like Worldfire and Sway the Stars, like this is in that same category. If those don't belong, this doesn't belong.
Does that hit Teferi's protection? Does it get through it?
In fact, Teferi's protection will kill you.
That's my point.
Because
that's my point.
Yeah, because you're treated as if you're not controlling.
But that's
any
the
creatures.
counter.
Yeah. Well, no, your life total can't change. This changes your life total to the number of creatures you can.
Oh, it's not damage. Yeah,
it's not damage. So, Teferi's protection is
okay. So it's safe. Okay.
The last one that I thought would be kind of a medium lightning round was Gaia's Cradle. I am split between why are you playing this in bracket 3 and Sweat Lord. I can see people there. So here's my dissonance that I am having. There are Gaia's Cradle effects that are playable in bracket 3 that are not game changers.
Growing Rights of Itlamok, Vendo.
The Circle of Dreams Druid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are all not a land.
They all have land does change it. That's where I'm getting to the distance. But it's like the effect isn't the problem. It's the fact that it's on a land body.
Yeah.
And so that's where it becomes like.
But they all have conditions.
If you have to play this card, is it not enough to already have like 3 copies of the effect? Which makes me think it's Sweat Lord. But also, why are you playing it in bracket 3? There's already like 3 other
I would
copies.
say it's Sweat because you rarely see it outside of CUDH.
Yeah, and it's still kind of narrow.
It's a big comp,
even
but it's a
within
big
that
piece.
because like you have to be playing a very creature heavy deck to even make this card work.
Yeah, but when you're doing it, you're abusing it. You're untapping it. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're
trust me. Yeah, the Revi.
That's
great
what
with this,
but that's what I'm saying though. So I think it's a Sweat card just because of that.
I don't know. I don't think it fits in the same category of the other things we have in Sweat. I would put it near the top of the deserves a spot.
Top of deserves a spot?
Maybe not even that high.
I would say bottom of Sweat Lord.
Really? I'm not pushing it that high. It personally, like if you guys both think it's
like a $1,300 card. You're sweating if you're putting this down, or you're making the decision to proxy it, and then it's like, was Circle of Dreams Druid not enough, brother?
I mean, Avendo is even easier. I mean, Avendo Growing Rights of Illamok can flip the same turn.
Yeah.
When we do the video about what should and shouldn't be game changers, though, I have words about Raphaelos and Gaia's Cradle. But we'll get to that. It's fine. We can leave it where it is. Okay. I don't think it needs to be there, but if you guys are overriding, you're overriding me.
Aura Shards is one that I have had words on.
I think it shouldn't be here.
I think you're salty.
I think it shouldn't be here.
Yeah, I just straight think it shouldn't be here. I don't get why it's here.
If you ask,
it's detrimental. Like because this is the thing with Jissa specifically, I get that thing out. Say I Pant Laza it and I put it on the board for free, then swing Jissath. I can hit 7 to 10 creep.
You're but the thing
bang,
is,
bang, 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 bang.
The thing is you're saying if I spend 13 mana, I get some crazy effect at the end of the day, and it's like, yeah, you should. Like
but the card itself's what 3?
3 mana.
Yeah, but it requires a ton of other things around it.
It just requires you to play creatures.
Or if you have and that's the thing.
Well, I'm saying for it to get disgusting, you have to do something crazy.
Yeah.
Whenever you talk to an artifact cell about this card, they're always like, but think about if the green player has a Scoot Swarm. And I'm like, think about if you talk to some bitches, dude. Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
Guess what? If they play the Scoot Swarm and they blew up all your stuff, there is only so much they can do, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not like this is blowing up lands. It's hitting artifacts and enchantments. I think having cards that punish artifact and enchantment players is okay. Is this one of the strongest effect that does this? Yes. but
it doesn't deserve a game changer.
It does not deserve a game changer slot. It's just a very, very good card.
Yeah, it's just you're never playing this first. You're always playing it when you're already set.
Yeah, sure.
But it doesn't help that this is in token generator colors.
Yeah.
It's true. But, you know.
If they wanted to make a fair version of this, where it was like non-token creatures, I'd be like,
fine.
No, that's true.
Fine.
You know what's crazy though is that this is on the list, but Eladamri's Call is not.
Yeah,
like Eladamri's Call is an insane tutor.
I guess there's thinking because it is multicolor.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, but I really like this card. I find myself cutting it a lot though.
Consecrated Sphinx.
I like it a lot. I think it deserves a spot.
It does deserve a spot because it does change how the game is played, but. It's weird because like it does change how the game is played, but it is a crushingly overwhelming advantage once it hits the board. I was gonna say like maybe it doesn't, but no, it does deserve a spot the more I talk about it. So I would just put it in.
It's pretty expensive.
I think it deserves a spot, but it's also one of the funniest cards to just copy because then you're gonna watch them kill themselves.
Yeah. Well, no, because it's a May. They can choose not to.
Yeah, but so can you to stop it.
You underestate my greed.
That's the thing, because you're gonna find a way to shoot mine before you stop drawing cards.
I am siding with the take that Wizards had on some other cards where it's like big, expensive cards should be impactful, and so they took it off. I was originally thinking this should be the very bottom of deserves a spot or the very top of questionable.
I think it deserves
a spot
what it does. The bottom deserves a spot. Yeah, it's just game warping.
It is game warping. It is a crazy advantage. You are drawing a minimum of 6 cards
before your next turn.
But I don't know. I think punishing card draw is good. I like the card. It's pretty expensive, so if you get it out, it's double blue pips. It's not, something cheap like 2 and a blue.
I say, hey, if we take this off, can we take Orcish Bowmasters off?
True. Last one is Bolas's Citadel. I don't think I've ever seen this card play fairly.
It's not.
It deserves a spot. I don't think it's sweat. I don't think it's sweat, but it definitely deserves a spot.
I don't know.
Because people will tutor for it all day.
Well, and the biggest problem is that every deck that utilizes it is built to win with it.
Yeah, that's my point.
Even in bracket 3s, if someone finds this card and plays it, the game is probably over.
Yeah.
So I think it actually goes in Sweatlord. I don't think there's no fair way to play this card. Even people who say they play it fairly, they play like 7 cards in a turn.
That's true.
Like it's just,
or they just fish for whatever they need.
Yeah, it's such an insane effect that because it's unconditional. Like we just got Gwenum, right, who does something similar, but she has to attack. This is just do the thing.
Exist. Yeah. That's fine. I think it would probably go behind Gaia's.
I think it's a more unfair card than Gaia's, even though Gaia's Cradle is free. But
you put it behind Survival of the Fittest.
I think I don't know.
I think this is above Gaia's.
Because this is my theory: is if you're gonna have because Survival of the Fittest, you're gonna play it and you're trying to win right now. Rhystic Study's not that.
I think this card is actually above Adnos.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. That's probably good. For me, I do think it is not better than Jeska's. I do not think it is better than Rhystic.
Because I think those are more
ubiquitous. It is an expensive card to cast once you get down, but you're basically pitching your turn to be able to fucking...
Well, it's like you pay 6 mana to get like maybe 20 mana worth of cards. Like particularly if you have a Senses Divine top. Like
true.
The game is over.
Yeah. Okay, let's go through and see if there's anything we would change around. I feel like I'm going to get grilled for not knowing this card.
Yeah, I think it's also a reserveless card. It's super old. Like it's not something people experience. Like same thing with like Library of Alexandria. People just don't really experience that card.
Which they're reprinting for Arena.
I did see that. It was kind of cool. I mean, I wish I want to own a library. It'd be super sick.
Part of me thinks this.
I'm gonna say no because what Workshop does to
early
enable those other ones. Yeah, it's a lot, man.
But I'm thinking turn like 5, turn 6. I'm cool with this touching down, you know, but like this touching down is like this is
honestly,
a vendor's threat.
Honestly, Mishra's workshop should just be in a why are you playing this in bracket 3? It just does not belong in.
If it's a reserved list, it's you know if we're talking about that with the reserve list, like why are you playing this in bracket 3?
Yeah, I think Tabernacle belongs there too.
Gaia's Cradle too in that case.
Yeah. Gaia's Cradle has got enough notoriety. I can see people proxying it.
Yeah, people do proxy that card.
They do proxy it, but the thing is, but why in 3?
Yeah, that's what I was getting. That's what I was getting at.
Fair, but like there are some strategies that do want to make good use of it. Like Hell's decks are sick with it.
Having infinite mana is always great.
It's usually not infinite,
but it's never fair.
It's a huge amount of.
I'm siding with you. Why are you playing this in bracket 3? It's like we talked about it. We saw where it should go.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be in bracket 3. Then we need to reorganize this. I think it's like.
Well, I think it's. I don't think the power level of all that matters because it should not be in the brackets we're discussing.
I've been trying to keep it relatively similar.
That's fair.
Or power scaled.
Yeah. I'm honestly getting close. Like